Hi, boys and girls. Welcome back to a new day of reading. We're going to start getting our brains ready for some reading and blending by listening to our Icky song. In this video, he has a remote control. Some people call it a clicker. He's asking you to click the remote control, the pretend one you're holding, to change the channel with him. So if you want to pretend to hold a remote control and hit the click button with the remote while Icky is singing, that would be a fun new idea for you. Enjoy!
In this TV set, you like TV too, I bet. I am Icky, watch with me. Come and see what we can see. To change the show's an easy trick. Hold the paper when you hear this click. Ickity, 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 click. Shows are brought to you by my favorite letter, the letter I. Ickity, 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 click. Itty bitty little small, it is hard to see at all. What is it, this tiny speck, an itty bitty small insect? Ickity, 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 click. If you ever catch a chill, sneeze, you feel so ill. Into bed and take a nap, you'll feel better in a snap. Ickity, 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 click. Itch, 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 oh scratch that itch, ear or tailbone, who cares which? Itches you cannot ignore. Itch, 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 and itch some more. Ickity, 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 click.
That was a fun video. I'm glad that you could click and change the channel with me. We're going to start by reviewing our letter sounds. So say this with me. You need to say it out loud so that way you can hear it and your grown-up and whoever is at your house can hear you, but you don't need to shout. Ready? Here we go. The letter C says k, k, k. The letter L says ul. The letter S says s. The letter A says a. The letter D says d. The letter G says g. The letter O says a. The letter I says I. Good. Like ill, an itch, an insect, injury. Those are all words that start with the letter I. All right, you are going to need your scissors, your glue stick, and you will need your pencil. So make sure you gather those things up. Pause the video if you need to. I'm going to pull that up. We're going to look at page 9 to begin with. Here is a story of what the super kids are doing with some materials that they found laying around their house. Materials is another word for supplies. So they decide they want to have a big kind of craft project, a big art project that they want to do as a group. And so they look around their house and they ask permission from their mom and they find out some things that they want to use with this art project. Look at that first box. They have a cardboard box. If you had a big giant cardboard box like that, what would you do with it? At my house, we had to get a new dishwasher. My dishwasher broke. So we had a new dishwasher ordered and they sent it to us and it came in a huge box. It was so big that we didn't think we could fit it into our garbage can. And so we kind of sat in our basement and my son Elijah saw this and he wanted it. He decided he was going to use this for a fort. And he and his daddy, they like to play Nerf gun wars once in a while. And so they had all those foam darts and little like circular discs that they would shoot at each other. And Elijah decided he was going to hide in that big cardboard box, and he cut out a hole in the front of it so he could look out of it. But if my husband, his daddy, was shooting those Nerf gun bullets at him for pretend, they would bounce right off the box and Elijah wouldn't have to get hit by any of those foam darts. So that's what happened when we had a big box like that at our house. Now, I have to tell you, the super kids, they are not using it to build a fort or a house or anything like that. I want you to look at the materials they're using. They have some scissors. See that? I think this is the glue that they were, the glue is in this green bottle. This might be, I don't know, an old can of some sort, it looks like. And they've got like an old clock, and they've got some soda bottles there with the caps. And they're talking now in this corner, in this box, about what to do with this box. And then they get an idea. I want you to look at this box now. Now, look, Doc, where someone cut out a hole in the box, and Doc is putting a clock in the bottom corner of their box. And the boys and Cass, they have some of the other supplies, like another dial, and they have those soda bottle caps they took off for their drink, and they're holding them in their hand. Now, look at the last box. The last thing that we want to do for this is to guess what they turned that box and how they used those materials. You've got golly on the inside of this box, and they've got dials and buttons. Now, this is an old-fashioned one. This isn't the kind that you would see probably at your house or at the store. But do you have a guess if I go click, 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 an idea of what they turned that box into? Yeah, a TV. In the olden days, like when your grandma and grandpa or your great granny or your great grandpa were alive, you had to get up and you had to turn the buttons and the knobs to change the channel to watch a show. And so they used those bottle caps for buttons on their TV, and they put a clock on the front so you could tell what time it was to switch for your new show. All right, so what you are going to do is you are going to use your crayons and you are going to color your TV here. You could make it whatever color you want. You know what? This is a pretend TV, so it could be green. I don't really think there are very many green TVs. I think they're mostly black. But if you wanted yours to be green, you could do that. You're going to color in that TV. And you could maybe make your buttons on your TV a different color too. Now, we're not going to color Golly. Golly's going to stay brown and white. Okay. All right, I am going fast, but you are going to take your time to try to keep that color inside those lines for me. Okay. They would probably have to paint this, or maybe if they had some markers, they could color the TV in if they wanted. Maybe you want to have your buttons all be different colors. You could do that. I'm going to change colors now. I'm going to find kind of this pinkish red color. I'm going to color in this one. And I'm going to change colors again. Maybe I'll use an orangey color for this button. And let's find maybe a blue color. And just because I'm choosing these colors doesn't mean you have to use these colors. You could use a whole bunch of different colors that are different than mine. Ooh, this is a pretty like turquoisey teal color. And then let's do, maybe we'll do a purple color, purpley blue color. There you go. Now our TV is colored and we are ready to go on to the next section. If you need more time to color, that's okay. Just pause this video here and finish your coloring. We're going to move on to page 10 and 11 now. Here is where you're going to need your scissors. You know how to do this, but let's review. On the bottom, there is this green line. You're going to cut on that green line, and then you're going to cut on these purple lines. Here, our Super Kid friends are pretending to put on their very own TV show. They each get to decide what their TV show is about, and they get to be the actor. They get to be the main character of their show. So what we're going to do is look at each of these different pictures and read the sentence that is in each of their boxes. But you can see that there's a white rectangle. This is where you're going to glue these words that you've cut out. Each of the words at the bottom of your page are the names of the Super Kids. There are 4 Super Kids on this page. We need to cut out their name and then read the story. So let's read this word, this name first. I want you to say it out loud with me and read. I'm going to use my pen to help keep you in the right directions and in the right place on our page, but I want you to put your finger here and read with me. Here we go. Say it out loud so that your grown-up can hear you. Ready? Read with me. Icky. Now there's a Y and it makes a different sound than what we're used to, but that is a name. So sometimes when it's at the end of a word, it changes sounds. So read it with me again. Icky. We have Icky in one of these boxes. Icky could be a policeman. He could be a football player. He could be a clown, or he could be a monster. Which one is Icky? Yes, he's the police officer. He has a hat and he has the outfit and he has a whistle and a badge. This is where you're going to glue Icky's name. I'm going to just put the first letter in that box. You are going to cut this word out and it's going to get glued in this box. We'll come back at the end and read all of this together. Let's keep reading the names at the bottom. Ready? Read with me. Say it out loud. Elf. Again. Elf. Elf. Which one is Elf? Is he a football player, a clown, or a monster? Elf is the monster. He looks a little different. He doesn't have his adventure hat on, but you can recognize him with his blonde hair. Elf wants to put on a scary monster show for his friends. You are going to glue that square in this box. Elf. Good. Let's go on to the third name at the bottom of our page. Read with me. Golly. Again. Golly. Golly. Which character is Golly pretending to be? The football player or the clown? Golly. The clown. Doesn't he look silly with his red nose and his hat and the clown collar on him? I think he looks silly. This is where you're going to glue that word golly. Golly. His name is going to go there to match his picture. Let's read the last name. Put your finger under the word and sound out with me. Sal. Sal. Which one is Sal? Which is the only one left? Yeah, the football player. Does that surprise you with all the sports that Sal likes to play? Me neither. All right, now we're going to read this story. You're going to put your finger on the first word. You glued the word icky there, so we're going to read the story of what these super kids like to do. Here we go. I want you to slide and read with me. Now, I have to show you a new word. This is our first sight word. This is a memory word. This is something that you're going to see a lot of, and we have to lock it in our brain so that way when we see it, we know it just like that. This is the word a. When we say the word a, it means that it's kind of pointing out that something could be something or it's an object. So we're going to see this word and we're going to say a. Now, when we see Elf's name, we say a different way. We say elf. We have a soft a. But when we see it as a word all by itself, we say the word as a. So we're going to use these words on this page to read the story. So say it with me. Ready? Icky is a, what did we say he was? Policeman. Let's say it again. Icky is a policeman. Good. Remember, here was the name of this super kid. I'm trying to write it for you so it matches your box. We're going to read this sentence now with our new super kid. Ready? Read it with me. Sal is a football player. Good. One more time. Sal is a football player. Good. Now we have the name of our puppy friend. Do you remember his name? It starts with the letter G. Golly. And what was Golly pretending to be for his TV show? A clown. Let's read that. Golly is a clown. One more time. Say it with me. Golly is a clown. Good. And now we have one other friend who was trying to be a scary monster for his show. Do you remember his name? It starts with the letter A. Elf. Elf. Good. Read with me. Elf is a monster. Look at those fingernails and those fangs. He does look scary. One more time. Elf is a monster. Oh, thank you for your cutting and your reading and your work with this. Let's turn to the next part. We have page 11 to do next. You are going to cut these words out just like you did on the other page. You can pause the video and we're going to continue after you have those cut out. Okay, here is our friend who likes the odd animals. Which character, which super kid liked odd animals? Oswald. Oswald. We need to glue Oswald's name into this square. Oswald starts with the letter O. So you're going to glue Oswald's name in this box. Next, we have our friend who likes to fix and repair broken toys, or she would paint them to make them look odd. Which friend was that? Doc, right, Doc. Her name will go in this box. Doc. D-O. Ooh, that got a little crazy, didn't it? C. Doc. Look at this friend now. Lily is our friend who likes to play with the lions, Lad and Lass, and their little doll, Lulu. Lily starts with what letter? L. Good. So Lily is going to start with an L and is going to get put in this box here. Lily. Okay, Lily. And then what was the name of our friend who liked to cook and had a cat named Coconut? Cass, right. What letter does Cass's name start with? Good. It does start with the letter C. We're going to put her name in this box. All right, boys and girls, you have your names of your Super Kid friends glued onto this page. Now it is time for us to read this part of our story. Remember, we're looking at what these Super Kids want to be. So let's look at the first box. Here is Oswald. He has a cowboy hat on. He has those little frills, those fringes on his jacket. He has gloves on. He's got a bandana on his neck. He looks like a real cowboy. So we're going to read that. Remember our Super Kid memory word? Our new sight word is the word a. So we have to add that to each of these sentences. So I want you to read this with me. Ready? Oswald is a cowboy. Yeah, Oswald looks great in his cowboy outfit. I wonder what he's doing in his cowboy show. Look at the next one. Here is our friend Doc. She has a hat on and she has a basket of corn. And here in our sentence, it has her riding a tractor. What do you think Doc is pretending to be in this box? Right, a farmer. Let's read this sentence now. Ready? Doc is a farmer. Good. One more time. Doc is a farmer. Good. Maybe she knows Old MacDonald. Look at this box now with our friend Lily. She has a white jacket on and she has a special medical instrument hanging around her neck. It's what these people use for listening to your heart, and they can listen to your lungs. It's called the stethoscope. Who would use a stethoscope to listen to your heart and lungs? Right, a doctor, good, or a nurse could listen to your heart with a stethoscope too. Let's read this sentence. Ready? Lily is a doctor. One more time. Lily is a doctor. Good. And the last one, look at what Cass is dressed up as. She has a long tail and cute little ears on her head and a bow around her neck. It says meow. Yeah, she's being a cat. Let's read this sentence. Sound it out and slide with me. Cass is a cat. Again, Cass is a cat. If you had to pick which show you would like best, which one would you pick? The cowboy, the doctor, the cat, the farmer? Maybe you would look back at page 10 and you would pick a police show or a football show or a clown or a scary monster show. If I had to pick, I probably would pick a doctor show. I like learning about how the body works and how to help people who are sick. Which one is your favorite? I have to ask you a question now. If you look at these different boxes, there are some things that are make-believe, it's called fiction is the fancy word. There's some made up things in these boxes. There are really real police officers in the world. There are really football players. There are really clowns. You could go to the circus and see a clown. But would you be able to go to the zoo and go see a cage full of monsters? No, that would not be a real life thing. Are there really cowboys in the world? Or a farmer or a doctor? Yes, absolutely. Here's another question for you, though. Would you be able to have somebody dress up as a cat and pretend to be a cat? Is that a real thing? No, you can't pretend and imitate an animal. An animal is an animal, a person is a person. You might dress up as a cat for Halloween, but it's not a real thing. People don't act like animals like that. So there were two different types of shows that the kids made up. There was a real character and there was a pretend, a fiction or a fantasy, people call it. It's a made up make believe show. I hope you enjoyed reading and you did a nice job with your cutting and pasting. And I will see you next time when we do some more. Bye bye.